Donald Trump is losing power day by day. He is losing in court, losing the support of his own MAGA supporters, and even Republicans in Congress are turning their backs on him. That is why the Trump administration is resorting to fear and intimidation tactics to impose its criminal policies. But these tactics are not working because the vast majority of the public rejects these policies. Last night's rally in Pittsburgh perfectly illustrated this point. The rally, where Trump attempted to address steelworkers, ended in complete failure. And we captured that embarrassing moment for you, one that most people missed. Before diving into these striking details, if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel, The Liberty Left. Your support is invaluable to us. Before we discuss that embarrassing moment at Trump's Pittsburgh rally and his shocking statement that left everyone stunned, I'd like to quote Jamie Raskin. Raskin perfectly summarizes the Trump administration's oppressive tactics.
It's very clear that from Donald Trump on down, they are attacking the judges. They want to impeach the judges. We have Republican colleagues who have wanted posters up outside of their offices in the Cannon House office building saying wanted with the judges up there. A number of them are Republican appointed judges like Judge Boasberg, who might be the most reviled of the judges for the Freedom Caucus. He's a Republican appointee. Bush appointed him to the court when he first got on it. He's a pillar of the conservative legal establishment, but he's a stickler for the rule of law. And anybody who stands up for the rule of law gets in their way because this is a gangster state. And, I just hope people begin to understand this is not basically a legitimate government that is sometimes doing corrupt things. This is an essentially corrupt enterprise. It's like watching The Sopranos. Every day they get up and they try to figure out how to plunder and pillage the people and the government fisc. That's what it's all about.
Again? Seriously, guys? Trump and his loyal gang are attacking judges, even trying to remove them from office as if they were mafia bosses. How dare they? Look, this isn't just the madness of a few radicals. They are seriously putting up wanted posters in front of their offices in the Cannon building. You know those posters with pictures of justice officials and the words "capture them"? It's not funny, it's terrifying. Do you know what the tragicomic part is? Most of the judges they are targeting were appointed by their own Republican Party. Take Judge Boasberg, for example, a Bush appointee, the very embodiment of the conservative legal establishment. But what's the deal? He's now been labeled a traitor for remaining loyal to the rule of law. Because for these people, what matters isn't the law, it's their own laws. The cruelty is the point. Cruelty is their very purpose. This is not a government, it's a looting regime. They're like characters from The Sopranos, asking every day, what can we steal from the state treasury today? Which rule can we bend? Who can we slander? This is the same mindset that defended supporters who once shouted death to Hillary and harassed witnesses in the January 6th investigations. The sacred process that McConnell used to block Obama's judicial appointments is now treasonous when it stands in their way. A factory of hypocrisy. Why does this concern all of us? Because the wanted poster hung on a judge today could turn into a threat to the basic rights of an ordinary citizen tomorrow. This is an attempt to demolish the foundations of democracy with a sledgehammer. Remember, when you silence the law, tyranny begins to speak. Stopping this plunder is everyone's responsibility.
Alex, this is being described as a partnership, this deal between Nippon and U.S. Steel, but then it's described as an acquisition on the U.S. Steel website, and then it's described as a partnership, and President Trump said he will be watching over things as things proceed, as this deal goes forward. Have you seen any of the terms of this deal thus far? Like, who owns the majority stake in this company?
Laura, this is exactly where I was hoping you would start, because I'm reading all these different things. I'm trying to get deal details, and I'm hearing it's an investment. Okay, that sounds terrific. Then I hear it's a partnership. I'm thinking, wait a minute.
All steelworkers.
Is it an acquisition? Is Nippon acquiring U.S. Steel?
Investment. It's controlled by the United States, and more importantly, they're spending the money on brick and mortar. You can't take it. What are you going to do? Pick it up and move it to Japan? That's not going to happen.
But there's no
And, you know, I rejected this about 4 times now. And when they finally got it right, I liked it a lot. And you could see how happy the Steelworkers.
Ah, that old partnership story again. Looking at the Nippon-U.S. Steel agreement, on the one hand, they talk about partnership in glowing terms, while on the other hand, U.S. Steel's own website refers to it as a purchase. Which one should we believe? Trump's claim that he'll keep an eye on it is just the cherry on top. His track record on oversight is clear. He's already kept an eye on everything from hiding tax documents to secret meetings with Russia. So who's buying whom? Who holds the majority stake? No details. They say investment, they say partnership, but there's $14.9 billion involved. You can't buy friendship with that kind of money. It's a hostess swap. Let's not forget Trump's old steel tariffs fiasco. Farmers went bankrupt, car prices skyrocketed, and then they said, wow, didn't we win? Now the same game is being played. Japanese capital is coming in. Where are those crying about worker rights? The only partnership here is between the rich and politicians exploiting the people. Watch closely, because the fine print of this deal says the workers are the losers.
And the independent journalist Jim Acosta. Jim, you know, one of the things about this tariff thing and upsetting all of our trading partners, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, but this whole issue of Canada and others thinking about not continuing with the F-35 project. This is more than trade and tariffs. This is people who are feeling deceived and cheated by the United States, people who are stuck by the United States, military allies. It's a dangerous world out there, and this is creating rifts where rifts are not needed.
No, absolutely, Ali. I mean, I think this is a very dangerous moment for the country. The president of the United States is alienating our oldest, most loyal allies, people like Canada, people like the folks over in Western Europe. And look at who he is giving, just a pass time and again, Vladimir Putin. And so you're absolutely right, Ali. What is happening right now in terms of the U.S. relationship with Canada, where he continues with these cockamamie ideas that Canada is going to become part of the United States and so on, it is absolutely alienating our friends to the north. And, I talk to diplomats, I talk to military leaders, they reach out to me from time to time. And I was just speaking with a retired general who was overseas in Western Europe just this past week. And he told me that our allies over there in Western Europe are absolutely freaked out by the way Trump has been throwing his weight around the world. And it's not only his foreign policy, it's not only his dealings with Vladimir Putin, it is this tariff policy. And it's the reason why you have the taco trade that is so popular down on Wall Street, because it's basically the only thing that makes sense right now. It's the only way you can make sense of this upside down world that Donald Trump has thrust us into. Even when Elon Musk is standing there in the Oval Office and he's departing the administration, I was talking to a Trump advisor the other day who said that Elon Musk had a sell-by date, but he was not a head of cabbage, Ali. He was more like expired ultra-pasteurized milk. At some point, you got to throw that stuff out.
Jen, the taco trade. Taco stands for Trump always chickens out. It's why the markets and the bond markets have not fully imploded, because Donald Trump says things that should make the markets implode, and then they say, you know what, he's going to change this, he's going to reverse it. Jamie Dimon said something this week in which he said, we probably should be worried about China. It's a real adversary and got real challenges with it. But really, we should be worried about what's going on here. The instability in America is probably a greater challenge to the world right now than China is.
Absolutely. And part of the problem with taco is that if you're an investor, if you're an entrepreneur, why would you invest in the United States? Why would you build a new plant? Why would you plan a future down the road more than a day or two? You can't plan and grow an economy with such uncertainty. One of the problems, one of the reasons why Jamie Dimon was so freaked out is America has always been a financial refuge because it's been stable. People want to park their money here. And if they don't, if they want to sell out on bonds, on the market, suddenly we're going to have a real debt crisis. Debt is going to become more expensive. Growth is going to slow. There's a whole cascade of issues that happen because Trump is making us into a lesser economic power. For decades, we've enjoyed supremacy as the premier safe economic haven. We're the generation of industry, with generation of science and economic technological breakthroughs. He's savaging that by going after grants to colleges, which do research. So in every way, he is weakening and undercutting the United States. And we're beginning to see the ramifications. These students who are being thrown out, foreign professors, they're going to go elsewhere. Research dollars will go overseas. Investors will find other places to put their money.
Wait a minute. Are we really dealing with a president who is seriously considering annexing Canada to the U.S.? What kind of mindset is that? While cozying up to Vladimir Putin, hitting NATO allies with tariffs, cooling Canada's enthusiasm for the F-35 project, and panicking Europe. Trump's foreign policy has turned into a power play in a school cafeteria. If you're not on my team, I'll steal your lunchbox. But the tragicomic part is this. Even Wall Street is searching for logic in this chaos. Those who say trade wars are good know that Trump could tweet one morning and upset all the balances. It's no coincidence that even Elon Musk said, "This milk is spoiled," and left the Oval Office. Jamie Dimon is right. The real threat isn't China, it's the instability Trump has created. Investors are asking, is the U.S. still a safe haven? And of course, as research funds are cut and brain drain is encouraged, we see Trump eroding the country's foundations while shouting, "Make America Great Again." Scientists are fleeing, universities are going bankrupt, and a debt crisis is looming. Why does this matter? Because the America Trump boasts about as a fortress is now the world's unreliable child. Allies are leaving, enemies are laughing, and the saddest part, it will take decades to repair the damage. If you've watched this far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Take care.